Hello, hello to a
Welcome.
new week.
Indeed, new week, new episode. Episode 03 of Corporate Pistons.
Yay, we're chugging along now.
Exactly. We are rolling, and I think we are pretty much completing our first month on the podcast scene, Adi.
Yeah, that's a milestone. Well,
Indeed.
I'll go get some beer tomorrow and celebrate that.
Well,
I need it.
feel free
Actually, I
to.
was for some reason I've been craving gin and tonic, so I'll do that tomorrow.
That's such a corporate drink, honestly. I think that could be a team all in itself, like the most corporate drinks ever, like the stereotypical corporate drinks. I think gin and tonic is up there.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like a good GNT. Can't blame it. Right. So how are you feeling this week, Adi? What's the mood like?
I was a little bit sick earlier this week due to some hay fever, and it became a lot worse on Monday and Tuesday. But I am recovering well, so no complaints here.
Good
Um,
thing it was just the hay fever, not the stress from the previous episode.
oh God, no, no. I found that was the first time that happened, and I found out how to fight it and
Okay.
and prevent it. So I'm quite good now.
Nice. Well, glad to hear you're feeling better and you're sounding all right. So that's a plus.
Yeah, well, the allergy tablets are helping massively.
Yeah, the drugs are good. That's what we're
Drugs are
after.
great.
Yep.
It's fantastic. I even powdered it up and snorted it instead of taking pill like a normal person. So we're good.
I think you watched The Wolf of Wall Street too much. But yeah,
Watched it.
excuse me, I
No,
forgot
no,
you're
let's
living
go.
the life. All right.
How are you? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a week, so
Mm,
yeah, powering through. Things are getting a bit more crazy and busy, but nothing completely, unmanageable so far. So yeah, powering
you
on.
got this. Excellent.
Do you have
Any
a corporate rant this week? Because last week you
um
said life was great for you.
yes, but this time I do have a rant actually, and it goes back to one of our previous episodes where we were talking about like process and stuff. I think it was the second episode.
Hmm.
Um, Today was a very hard lessons learned, let's say, as to why certain processes do exist and cannot be skipped or taken shortcuts to.
Oh boy. Well,
Nothing that I did. In fact, I warned people against this, and there are certain people, or actually in this case, one person who, yeah, did not want it, and we skipped it and cut a lot of shortcuts that shouldn't have been done.
hmm.
Um, and we got as close to a recall without actually doing a recall for one of the components we just brought into series production for a specific customer.
Oh damn. Okay.
And the entire management was sat bolt upright, and we are all under now microscope thanks to this one ass clown.
Well, glad to hear it still worked out. But yeah, do people
Yeah,
like
it
that
worked
do
out because
exist?
there were some contingencies, so it did work out, but it could have been a very expensive mistake very fast.
And that's why we have processes.
There we go. Lessons learned. So that's the
Exactly.
rant of the week. Do you have any?
Yeah, I have a small one, but
Okay.
my rant of the week is, you know how in project management sometimes you're just carrying information from A to B, like you're aligning something with
Yes.
one person, then you're just telling another person what
Yes.
they need to know. Well, I
Yes.
had a case like
You're
that.
like worse than you're like worse than a messenger certain times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally like carrying water, but instead of buckets of water,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
emails. Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
I had a case like that recently where
Oh no.
I don't know, I had to speak with some very technical, highly intelligent person, very technical, and they were like, "Okay, this is the information that you need for this component, blah blah blah. Here's all the information. I confirm it's all
Mm,
right. Go for it." Now, I
mm,
couldn't really follow along with all the technical aspects that he was telling me, but I got the message, this is what we need to do. So, I very happily went to the next person that was expecting the information. I was like, bam, there's your feedback. This is what you need to do. Go ahead, here's the information, A, B, C, D, go for
mm,
it. And then
mm.
that guy just out of the blue just goes like, okay, but are you sure? Like, are you sure this is right? And that just shattered my very little confidence that I had on the information. Like I was like, not really, but for the sake of the argument, I just bluffed and I'm like, yeah, very sure. And then he goes like, are you sure it shouldn't be the other way around? Or, and I was like, could you please just shut up and stop giving me problems, just roll with it.
He-
You know, if you knew how to do it
Oh,
already, why did you ask for clarifications? No,
yeah,
because
exactly. Yeah.
I have a niece saying this is how it should be. Go with it and leave me alone. Like here you go. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's people that just, they're not fully in the subject, but then they question the information that you give them regardless, just for the sake of
Mm.
questioning it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They pretend like they're just trying to make sure that it's 100% correct, but they
Yeah.
don't realize it that they're just doing it for the spite of it and sort of annoying us,
As,
especially when we're sure where and how and why we got that info and whether it's correct or not. Yeah. I hear you
and
completely.
even
Okay.
more annoying when you're in my position where you're new in the job and you're not even sure that's the correct information or why it is the way it is. You just assume the person with many PhDs is right, like that's,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And
Any highlights of the week or the day?
well, I do have a partial highlight in the little series of what the fuck is Hector doing now, as in my
Yes,
car.
Hector the Mini Cooper. Yeah, let's go.
Exactly. Mini Cooper S, please. Very important to stress that S
Yes, yes.
for
Sorry,
my ego.
S. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I told you last week that I took it to the service and I had to pour 3 liters of oil in it to get it back to working condition.
To life. Yeah.
Yeah, but no one really knew what was happening with the old oil or where was it all going.
Hmm.
Well, great news. Now we kind of know what's happening because every now and again, when I'm stopped at the traffic light, Hector starts blowing blue smoke from under the bonnet like a locomotive. And
Oh,
when I'm parking the car, I see droplets of oil underneath the car. So,
oh, geez.
progress.
Okay.
It's now not just eating oil, it's also bleeding oil. So, yeah, I'm down.
Well, are we?
Yeah,
Well, hopefully we're close to some diagnosis.
well, I have an appointment at the garage tomorrow to, lift it up and go underneath it and see exactly where the oil is leaking from. But
Yeah.
as far as I could tell, all smoke seems to be coming from the turbo. So, that's horsepower, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
So all is
Fair enough.
pretty great on the Hector front, minus the fact that it smells like a kebab shop every time I get in and out of the car, with all that burnt oil.
I was gonna say, well, I'm not sure what kebab places you go to, but the kebab places I go to don't use 5W30 as their oil for frying the kebab. But okay, good to know.
I'm going to petrolhead kebab shops.
Fair enough. Where the food is cooked with motor oil, not cooking vegetable oil. Yeah.
Exactly. And the thing
Uh,
turning
uh,
the kebabs around is just one giant turbo.
Gotcha, gotcha. High-end turbo, like a truck turbo. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, when I come visit you in Romania, make sure. Well, let's make sure I go to one of these places to try it out.
We will, don't worry.
All right.
Okay, so
So, shall we get into today's topic?
yes, what is today's topic, Addy?
Today's topic, from our notes, it says work outside work.
I love it how it sounds like we're just finding out the topic of the day just now as we're recording.
um,
Yeah,
well, but to be honest, I mean, we're doing this to sort of unwind and get things off our chest. So it doesn't feel like work to me. It does genuinely feel like I'm just venting off and getting ready for the evening or just relaxing.
I'm
So
pretty
I'm
sh
happy to do this.
I'm pretty sure our two listeners can tell this is not very well organized or we don't have much of a clue what we're doing anyway. But yes, fully agreed.
Well,
Same.
that's the whole point. We are showing the chaos and unpreparedness underneath the corporate moniker.
Yes. Wow, that sounded so philosophical. Yes.
Anyway, um, we need a little bit of, or I need a little bit of clarification under this because when we prepared this notes, it was quite a long time ago. So I need a little bit of a refresher first. When we say work outside work, do we mean like having
Working.
like a second job, or do we are we talking about like normal things, like normal work that we need to do at the house, doing chores, running errands,
Uh,
bank stuff or
no,
something
no,
like that?
none
Or
of those actually. I think it was more on
okay.
the lines of, when you log off from work, but then work doesn't log off from you. Like
Ah,
it's all, like let me ask you this: how many times in the last month have you worked overtime, or have you opened your work laptop, at a stupid hour in the
uh,
evening or on a weekend or stuff like that?
oh, plenty.
Yeah, I don't think you
Es,
should be doing that.
es, oh, that's okay. That's where we're. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, then this entire podcast is going to be my rant, basically. The two subscribers we have are gonna run away after this one for sure.
If the previous episodes didn't scare you off, this one will, yes.
Yeah, exactly. This one will. Yeah. So, all right. Well, in that case, I'll let you go first. You put in your input, and then I'll chime in with mine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, again, I think, every now and again, I think there will be a situation, something very critical or something that just bugs us to no extent that would require us to, turn on our laptops or log back in after we said we're done for the day, or maybe on a weekend or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think this right here might be one slight benefit of living in the corporate world, as opposed to living in the startup world, if we're going back to
Mm-hmm.
our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in the corporate world, you're kind of protected in this bubble of it's 5 p.m., I can log off. And, in some countries, I think France has a law that no one's even supposed to or allowed to call you or message you after 5 p.m. On your work phone because that's your
It,
personal time.
it's in Italy also, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I think, in the corporate world, we're quite well protected in this bubble of no one should do it and you shouldn't be forced to log in your personal time to get work done. Whereas if
Yeah.
this was a startup or you were working at your own company, then you might as well just do it and get it out of the way because no one else is gonna do it for you and you're bleeding money if you don't.
Mm.
Uh, Personally, I try to avoid it as much as I can. Like once I log off from work, my brain is completely logged off. Like it's very hard to get myself back in gear to think about work or to get work-related topics done.
Yeah.
That being said, every now and again, there is a certain topic or a certain element that just causes so much stress or anxiety in my brain that I
Mm.
rather just log in for like 5, 10 minutes, send that nasty email that I was too chicken to send during work hours or something like that, just to tick it off my brain so I can go to
Yeah.
sleep or actually relax knowing that it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I see this also as a bit of a, yeah, therapeutical means of getting your anxiety under control. But
Mm.
personally, I was always an advocate for, you know what, you've done the work that you're supposed to do. There's only so many hours in a day. no one else is gonna read that email till tomorrow morning anyway. So why go above and beyond?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I had my fair share of 11 p.m. In a hotel reception or a hotel bar working on a presentation for the next day. I guess that
Hmm.
just comes with the territory if your job requires to travel or something changes last minute or whatnot. But
Right.
as a
Okay.
as a whole, I always was an advocate of, you know what, you're one little minion in a company that has hundreds of thousands of people. Just take the evening off. You've earned it. Chill and
Yeah.
worry about it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna catch fire or burn down in the few hours after you log off and when you log in the next morning again. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because even if there, 5 or 10 people are waiting for an input from your side,
Hmm.
they're at home as well. No one's gonna. There's very few cases where it's so urgent that people are actively still working overtime around the world, just waiting for their input to come. So,
Mm.
if you send it 8 p.m. in the evening or 8 a.m. in the morning, it makes very little difference, except for like crazy different time zones or stuff like that. But yeah,
Mm.
other than that, yeah, just crack open a beer and enjoy your life. That's my state on it.
That's fair, actually. That makes, yeah, I agree. That's how it should be. If it's just one email or some like one quick slide that you have to finish up and just send it across, then it would make sense to log back in and finish it off. If it's going to get you a bigger peace of mind, that for
Exactly.
sure.
Like you should do it
Yeah,
for selfish reasons, not for corporate reasons, Like you
corporate
should do it
reasons.
for
Yeah,
yourself, not for your company. That's the only excuse I
right,
can get.
right. Okay, fair enough. Uh, I agree with that. But the last 2 months, uh, so I'm with you. I usually evenings, especially in the evenings or on the weekends or something, or on my days off. If I log out, that's it. I do not care. If let the world burn if I for all I care. Nothing against the company we work for. It's just I do not want to get back in because it's my time now.
Yeah.
I'm away. Um, However, the last 2 months, because of a certain project for a certain specific customer who you know very well that I'm handling right now.
Yeah. Hmm.
uh, E- uh, well, the customer is under really tight pressure financially because the whole world is,
Under pressure
going
financially.
sideways. Yeah, exactly, pretty much. So the whole, everybody's going sideways, so it's not their fault.
Hmm.
Um, it- the problem arises when you want to stick to your work but you're not allowed, or other people are intervening or micromanaging you
Hmm.
and putting, let's say, in more pressure than the customer themselves
Okay.
to get something done. And last 2 months, I have worked well over many days. I honestly don't even remember how many days, but well over the prescribed time limit because our company, like you said, actually they do a very good job. If I'm being honest, I'm actually very proud of that. They do respect the work-life balance and all that, and they even put a cap on working. How many hours you can log in into your project
Hmm.
for the
Yep.
day. Unfortunately, the last 2 months, because of this project and this person and certain components that I'm handling, I had to work a lot more than what I could log. And that was both because I wanted to just get it over with, and also because the customer is under pressure. And having spoken to the customer directly, I felt like I want to help them, and I wanted to do my best to make things happen for them that they needed.
But the question
But
here, sorry to interrupt you,
yeah,
just a quick question. Was this
yeah.
because, the volume of work was so great that there weren't enough addies in the company to handle it on time, or was it because of
No,
side projects or side meetings, questions that just come up and derail your day to the point where you could only get the job done outside working hours?
exactly. It's the second one. It's the latter.
Oh, okay.
Uh, During the day when you're supposed to work and get stuff done, uh, some of the people in the same project too, they come up with all like half the time I ended up spending updating them as to what is happening rather than actually doing my job. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because these people stick to you like leeches and they suck the living energy out of you, and you spend half a day trying to just update these fuckers, and then you don't have any more time to actually do your job. So then you have to spend overnight or like log off for a few minutes, eat your dinner or whatever, then log back in and actually do your fucking job because you didn't have time in the morning. That's really what it came down to. Like that's exactly what happened. But the important thing is, at least in the end, the customer did recognize it. They recognized the hard work and they genuinely thanked me for my efforts. And that was the only sort of silver lining positive outcome of that whole thing. But from a stress and like work-life balance point of view, I am 100% with you. If it's just an email or like a quick slide or just one phone call or something like that for like 5 or 10 minutes, maximum 15 minutes, I am more than happy to do it, even though you shouldn't. But yeah, people and certain situations within our company makes you break that law. And what's worse, I think it's no secret. Everybody who I work with, and you know that I also do have a startup on the side. And for
Hmm.
the company we work for, I'm 80%, and that gives me 20% during the week free. And so I use that 20% to work on my startup. Um, I try my very best to keep both spheres of my life separate, but the last 2 to 3 months, or even last 6 months, I would say, uh, every every time I'm using that 20% to work on my own company or my
Yep.
own project. Our work, our corporate job has come up with something or another where I had to stop my own work and log back into our corporate world. And that was not pleasant. It annoyed me. It made me angry because it's not like I genuinely make it a point to not do my work or do my startup stuff when I'm working for our company.
Yep. I get it.
Our corporate jobs. I am very, very meticulous about that. Like I genuinely do not even touch my laptop, especially if I'm working from home or something. I do believe in discipline and things like that, and being dedicated to your job. So when I'm on their time, I really do the corporate work that I'm supposed to do,
Yep.
my project management job. But unfortunately, that doesn't work on the other side. It always comes up, which is very sad, but it's true.
Well, take a moment to breathe because I feel like that was a big rant off your chest. Like, I could
I
see you're
told you
very
it.
passionate about this topic now.
I do because it really this is something I've been experiencing on a weekly basis, day in and day out. So this is a topic that is very close to me. Not just that too. Like I'll take this slightly offside. I mean, um, to complement the company we work for, to be honest, there were times when, like for example, last year I had to get my passport renewed, and I had to go to the uh, embassy in Munich urgently because I had
Yep.
signed all the documents and sent my passport, but there was some confusion, and the embassy called me and asked me to come by personally. And my boss and everybody was kind enough to just say, "Yeah, take the day off. Don't worry about it. Go finish your thing. It is important." So I do want to give credit to our company where it's due. They've helped me at times when I had to do my personal stuff, and the only time sometimes you can do these things is during business hours,
Yeah.
and if you're working, you can't do it. So they have helped me, but the other way around has been more often than none.
So all you have
So
to do is get like a new passport once a week, and then you have that perfect work-life balance.
if I become some sort of like CIA or MI6 agent or some sort of intelligence work for some sort of intelligence service, then I think that I can make that a weekly habit. Yeah.
I think if you become a Secret Service agent or something like that, I'm pretty sure work-life balance will have a totally different meaning for you overall. Like I don't think
Yes.
turning on your laptop after
Yes.
6 p.m. is gonna be your biggest issue in the world.
There won't be laptops. It'll be logging into other people's laptop at that point.
You say so, but I sometimes think that also being a corporate, not a corporate spy, just a secret service like a James Bond type of character, I'm pretty sure that also requires a stupid amount of admin and like corporate-ish processes. And who knows, maybe James Bond had to fill in an Excel spreadsheet or something like that every now and again.
But he has Moneypenny who does all that work for him.
Fair point, fair point. So what you're
Anyway.
saying is that you need someone to help you with the admin stuff.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I even asked my boss if I can get an intern. It was declined, obviously, but I asked already.
Well, keep asking, you never know.
I know. I'm gonna try again.
So I was about to ask, what tips or tricks or what can we do to get ourselves better at not working outside of working hours?
Yeah.
For me, the one thing I do and I tend to do quite regular, I think I mentioned this in a previous episode,
Mm,
is some days after like 5:30 p.m. or after I get home or something, my work phone just
mm,
goes into airplane mode till the next day morning. And
yeah.
then, whatever happens, happens. I'll find out tomorrow.
Mm.
For you, it seems to be get a new passport every week or become a Secret Service agent.
That
So,
seems to be the solution. No, but I do have another tip though. I mean,
okay.
this is more preventative rather than reactionary uh, task, I would say. Um, I think we need to learn to say no at work sometimes when these side projects or like side topics pop up during work, and people ask you to do stuff or help them solve issues, or whatever else that comes up on the side. I'm getting pretty good at it. I don't like explode on them. I just don't say no, I'm not going to do it or anything like that. What I do is, hey, listen, I'm under a lot of pressure with this one project. I
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to get to it today or tomorrow, but if you can give me time till like Friday or remind me again, like next week Wednesday, I'll be able to do it for you. And then at least so far, 95% of the time, people are able to say, oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. I'll get back to you at another time. Or they'll say, is there anybody else who can support me? And then I just pointed to two or three of my colleagues who might be able to help them. And I'll tell them, I don't know, but you can ask them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, yes, they can help you. Absolutely go bother them,
Just
because
throw them under
that's
the
that's
bus.
rude. Yeah, exactly. No, that's rude because they are still your teammates or your department colleagues or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do tell them, just ask these other people. If I give them a couple of names and then say, if they can help you, then great. If not, then come back to me next week. And it's been working so far. So
That's,
that's something I can do. That I think that's something we should get better at.
oh, for
That
sure.
way, that way we can prioritize our actual tasks and get it done, so that we don't have to do this work after work kind of thing.
I mean, the one thing you mentioned is I think someone did the exact same thing to me last month or a couple of months ago, where
Yeah.
I messaged them because something was burning at that point, and I really needed some input or advice from them, and they were the one technical specialist in the whole department that could help. And I
Mhm.
sent them an email, and then a couple hours later, I sent them a quick message to be like, "Hey, could you please check that email? It's very urgent." And
Yeah.
I was hit with a very short message saying, "Hello, Bogdan. I do not have the bandwidth to look at this topic today. We'll do it tomorrow." and then he
Yeah.
instantly logged off, and he had an out of office set out, so not even a chance for me to reply.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
but there are ways you can go about doing it, I think, and sort of prioritize your day-to-day work. And in the beginning, or even up till last year, I would say I was horrible at it. Like no matter what people ask, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it for you.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's do it right now. Oh yeah, no problem. But now I'm getting better, and I'm saying, listen, I'd love to help you, but not right now. Come back later.
Yeah, and that doesn't make you an asshole by default. I mean, sure, some people might call you that in the coffee room, but end of the day,
Yeah,
like you said, it is the healthy and the right thing to do if you're
exactly.
genuinely struggling or busy with
Struggle.
something
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, there have been times when I was ready to take on the embrace the asshole name. I was in fact excited to do it, but then I decided not to do
And I need to learn how to be
it.
more of an asshole at work, honestly. I feel like my life would
We
be so
really
much
do. We
better.
really do. We really do. There are some people who's like, nope, not gonna happen. They
Yep.
don't give you other options. They don't give you anything else. Just no. That's it.
Yep, exactly. And that's why I strive to become one day, just one of those corporate assholes that's like, just nope, figure it out, I'm busy.
Is the podcast name then going to change to corporate assholes from corporate pistons?
Not yet. Let's aim towards that, Let's see if we can
Let's
transition
go
from
to
corporate pistons to corporate assholes.
okay. So it should go from uh, corporate pistons to corporate fever to corporate dicks to corporate assholes. I think that's the phase, the milestones that we need to
You
set
forgot
up for
you
this pod.
forgot corporate bastards. I think,
Corporate bastards. Yeah, we'll add that one
yeah, I'm not sure where that ranks in the whole insult range, if it's before or after assholes, but I feel
too.
like I
I
feel
think
like
it's
you can.
before.
Yeah, I also feel it goes like bastard and then assholes, like.
Yeah, exactly. We need to figure out the degrees of profanity and where each word belongs.
Yeah, I think we need to put it out for to a vote.
Yes, if our two listening members, if they haven't unsubscribed yet, they can maybe let us know.
Yeah, one can hope. One can hope. But since we are still called corporate pistons, and
Yes.
so far the only pistons that are flying around in this podcast are the ones that are still moving under the bonnet of my car. Not sure for how long,
Yeah.
but they're still moving.
Yeah.
Um, Not making the most pleasant noises all the time, but they're moving. What's the automotive mood like for you, Adi, this week? How did you get your car serviced? Do you know what you want to drive to work if in an ideal world? What's
Well,
your take?
well, my car is actually at the service. I dropped it off yesterday in the afternoon,
Okay.
and I should get it back tomorrow. If not, maybe Monday. Um,
Ooh. Can you survive a weekend without
they,
the car?
yeah, it's okay. I'm not doing much this weekend. I have some work for my startup anyway. And also, I mean, if I do need a car, my sister lives fairly close by. It's just like a 10-minute walk to her place, and she would lend me her car. So it's okay.
That's good,
Yeah.
because I would feel, even if I had no plans for the weekend, I would still feel very trapped if I wouldn't have a car.
Oh, I feel trapped. Don't get me wrong. I'm coping with it. I already feel trapped. I felt trapped as soon as I handed over the keys yesterday, or the key fob. But no, I'm coping. It's okay. But what do I feel like driving today? Like I said, I was a little sick due to this hay fever and all this stuff earlier in the week today.
Hmm.
And so this week, I don't even want to drive. So what I'm thinking I would want to do if I'm stuck on the Autobahn is I would love to be in the back seat of a nice S-Class Maybach series or a Bentley Mulsanne or a Bentley Flying Spur
Ooh.
or a dare I even say Rolls-Royce Phantom?
Okay, so you went really, really classy, high-end stuff.
because then you have these nice lamb's wool matte plush inside, isolated completely from the outside world. You have massage seats, reclining seats,
Let me,
but
sorry
you
to
still
cut
get
in
to go
there.
somewhere.
Let me
No,
just
go on.
cut you down a peg here. How do you feel about one of those new fancy 7 Series from BMW with like the illuminated grills and like the flashy look at I'm rich kind of lights on it?
So the inside is really very nice. That big screen they have that pops down, and it's like a 16 by 9, like full on. I think it's like a 32-inch screen or something. It's
It's like a
crazy.
home cinema in your car, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a home theater. Yeah, and you have those like shooting star sunroof and like those whatever else they. What do they call it? There's a specific BMW marketing name for
Of
it, but
course
anyway,
there
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
kid. Uh, I do like the interior, but if I'm being honest, after the current generation 3 series, every single BMW that has come out, I am simply not able to get used to it. The 4 series, the 4 series and the 7 series and the X7, I think are some of the most ugliest cars in the world. Not from all the angles, just the front, the nose, the BMW kidney
Yeah.
grills. People complain that it's too big. It being big is not my problem. It's the hideous shapes they have. I don't care if it's big. I mean, Audi has had much bigger grills for ages and it looks fine. But it's the
hmm
design of it. I absolutely hate it and I cannot get used to it. The 4 series is bad, the 7 series is bad, the X3 is awful, the X5 is okay. The 5 series is not that great. It looks weird as hell. Oh my God. I don't know what is happening with BMW's new design language, but I do not like it. I can't do it. That's why
Controversial take.
it
Controversial
is. And
take.
I'm,
No, no, no. I have a controversial take. I
go on.
kind of like the illuminated grills on the new fancier BMWs. You know
Yeah.
where you have
Yeah,
LEDs in
yeah,
the
yeah.
kidney grill. I
Yeah.
hate that I like them, but I do like them. Kind of. They're growing on
The
me.
the the illuminating part is actually cool. I'm with you on that one. Some people hate it, but I'm okay with it, especially at night, like
Yeah.
I've had that happen. Even the new Mercedes E-Class has it also, the model after mine. Mine's now one generation older.
I just
The
humble
newest
brag there.
one
Yeah.
is, yeah, of course. There's a little bit of a show off. Yeah.
Of course.
No, the very new one, it's actually quite nice. And even the BMW one, the 5 Series, actually quite looks quite nice in the dark. You see the two kidney grills coming, instantly it's a 5 Series,
Yep.
and you let them overtake you, whatever. That's great. It's not the illumination or the size, it's the shape that I have a problem with. I mean, like the 7 Series, right? The 7 Series face looks like the pigs in Angry Bird game. You know what I'm talking about? Those green
Yeah.
pigs.
Yeah.
Oh, is it disgusting? And the 4 Series. There's I don't know if you're a fan of Star Wars, but there's this one alien in Star Wars in Mos Eisley, in Episode 4, and he has these like two little chin teeth things sticking out, and it looks like
I
gentleman's area, let's say. Um,
yeah.
and that's what it's just absolutely horrendous. I hate it. It's the shape. I don't mind it that they're big. It's just the shape. They could have clearly designed it a bit better, I think.
You are on a rant today. Okay. So
I am. I told you this was a
we'll get you back in a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, and then you can
Mm,
chill there and have a nice cup of
exactly.
tea or a GNT and just enjoy your big
Yeah,
badass
exactly.
corporate life on the back seat of a Rolls Royce.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for bringing me back to sanity.
Yeah, no, I tried taking you down a peg. I didn't like the results. Let's put you back in the Lululand.
Excellent. How about you? Where are you today with the cars?
Oh, well, as you know, probably in the garage shop soon. Um, I had a thought about this, and actually this week I also don't feel like driving a car fully, but
Mhm.
I would, because the weather's becoming nicer finally, I would ride a motorcycle. Like I would take a motorcycle out
Ah,
for a spin,
nice. Okay, that's
and
fair.
I would
What?
go.
Any specific motorcycle?
Um, I would go for one of those naked bikes or something. Not something crazy sport or overly aggressive. So I wouldn't go for your
Hmm.
standard crotch rocket or anything like that. Just something,
But a cruiser.
a cruiser or something, yeah, like a nice little Honda Hornet or something like that. That just gets you
Oh,
from A to
nice.
B
Yeah,
around the city. I can zoom to and from the office and just look cool while doing it. And yeah, I would,
nice.
I could see myself
I,
rocking
I
that.
can I can actually see you in a leather jacket and on a naked bike. Yeah. So somehow that image suits you. Yeah, fair enough.
That's what I'm going for now. Yeah.
Excellent. And I think that brings it to a close for this week.
Pretty much, pretty much.
And I'm not gonna say it. You're gonna, if
No,
you
no,
want, you can
I
say
think
it.
that's your
No.
tagline now, Adi.
Oh
I
gosh.
think the people want you
Why?
to hear, or people want
Oh
to hear you say
God.
it.
I'm gonna
So
say it so fast that they don't know what I'm talking about.
you go for it. I'll slow it down in editing. Go for it.
All right, people. Thanks for joining today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you can relate a little bit to what we are going through as well. And I'm sure you can. If you have anything like that, comment in the comment section, or put a note in the comment section. And don't forget to, oh God, like, subscribe, and comment. Like,
Indeed.
subscribe, and share. Oh God.
Yes,
Oh,
Adi's
I
right.
hate you, Bogdan. This one bit, I absolutely hate you. Oh God.
Nah, I'm sure you love it. You just hate to admit it. But yes,
Oh,
thank you everyone for staying with us so far. As Adi said, you can find us online. We are now on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We're at Corporate Pistons. So we'd love to hear your comments, thoughts, feedback.
we're. I think we should mention we're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and
Yeah,
almost all the other podcast services, I think.
I'm pretty sure that's the only two we are on. Spotify and
No,
Apple
I check.
Podcasts. Okay,
Yeah, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Yeah,
and apparently we're on some other podcast platforms. So wherever you want to search for us, you might actually find us.
find us. Yeah.
So thank you very much for sticking with us, and we will see you in the next one.